Welcome to Deep Thought. Many forces want to limit the number of smart thinkers in the world. And I'm going to tell you what, this is in connection with my previous episode when I talked about the indoctrination system. Because I want y'all to think about something. If you have a critical mass of true thinkers in the world, true thinkers, then several forces in society cannot control them. Ooh, let me say that again. If you have a critical mass of true thinkers in the world, then many forces in society cannot control them. And an example of this is in American history during the American prisoner of war period, colloquially known as slavery. Slaves were prevented from reading. That was punishable, seriously. Slaves who could learn to read, because if you get a bunch of some slaves to read and they really find out some stuff, they make lousy slaves. They make lousy slaves. And indeed, in my view, that's been expanded to the indoctrination system to include everybody. You know, it's like, okay, we got to teach them to read. Let's teach them to read just enough to truly read. Let me share this with you. I actually learned to read more outside of school. Yeah, you know, grandmother bought me a bunch of encyclopedias and she'd give me a new set every year, Bible story, all of that. I read outside because when I think back to school, I was like, you know, they used to give me some lousy stuff to have to read. It's like, you know, but that's the indoctrination system. But how often, you know, oops, I'm about to jump back into what I was talking about in the last episode, but let me go with that flow for a second. You know, what's really teaching you how to think? Really think critically. Like if you become a critical thinker, in most cases, you're doing so outside the system, like on your own. And I'm gonna get into that level of education in the next episode. But I want y'all to think in terms of, okay, who benefits from basically people just following along, being in the herd? You have several forces. One obvious one is government, you know? People will start questioning why you voting for certain politicians, why you following certain political candidates, why you doing everything, because that's about power. If you really think about, like, a lot was presented, and this is regardless where you are on the aisle, right, left, center, whatever. If you really think about some stuff, you'd be like, they telling you some whack ass shit. Seriously. Because they appealing to emotions, but if you start thinking, you'd be like, hold up. What good is this? Is this a bad thing that just happened? But then that gets into the media. The media is a tool used to control people, primarily emotionally. If you look at how they present stuff in the media, even news programs, to get your emotion, they don't tell you the whole story, they tell you just enough. And this is whether the news station is right, left, or center. And they all have an agenda. But who's the agenda for? Is it for the media? Yeah, that's a business and everything. But there's always a money agenda, economics, the corporations, businesses. Because if you want to know who's benefiting from, like, a news program, media, movies are propaganda. Movies are propaganda. Whenever certain movies come out, you pay attention. There was a CIA agent, I think John Stockwell. He said he could know what country was about to be invaded because he would just pay attention to what movies were coming out. But it's working on the people. It's working on the people. But if you really think about it, you'd be like, why this type of movie? What's going on with it? And there was some things happening, like, I'm real funny about watching some stuff, but even sometimes in science fiction, now even in science fiction, I love science fiction, you watch stuff and it's like, that's interesting. Like, I'll give you an example, that show Foundation. That's your foundation. I actually like it. But the opening scene for season 2, the Empire, I like the character. But he was born in an android. Like getting up in there. And you know, my thought was, okay, yeah, that looks good for a story, but you got, you know, could somebody be trying to promote sex dolls? Maybe, maybe not, but something to think about. But see, the media, they're promoting any type of media, whether it's news programs, comedies, is always something being promoted. But who's making money from that? Who's making money? Like I was watching I ain't gonna say what was, the idea was being promoted, but it was, I ain't gonna get into it because that gets into another conversation, but I was just watching some show, and it was something like in the background. Because I'm gonna tell you what, on a subliminal level, you watch any shows, watch what they're wearing, what they're doing, what they're promoting, the personality types, right? You know, because people ain't thinking about it, it's going into their subconscious, you know? But see, a critical thinker be like, what did I just see? Like you have an underground where, and I haven't tapped into it in a while, but it's probably still there, where you have people breaking down the subliminals in movies and everything. And people, you know, some people call them crazy, but you start looking, you be like, okay. You gotta kill that idea. But it all still comes down to money and control. The media is about as a tool for control, a psychological tool. But a critical thinker, a smart thinker is going to be like, what the hell I just see? They're going to think about it. They're going to be like, okay, what's the agenda? But you can neutralize that by limiting the number of thinkers, not teaching people how to think, you know, to really think on it. That's why I always say, think on this. I want y'all to think about that. Think about it, all right? So you got the media, religion. Let's just be real. I'm just going to be real with it. I respect anybody's path, but you got two sides to a path. One is an actual path where you actually get in touch with higher power, with God, or whatever term you want to use. That's legit. That's legit. It makes you a better person, better human being, I'm all for it regardless of your path. But then you got a side that's all about control. Let's just be real. You got so many corrupt ministers, imams, priests, everything. They're all about their money. But if you look in this world, a lot of religion has been used as an effective tool of control. Control people, because it's about controlling people's behavior. It's about controlling the herd. A thinker is going to be thinking about, wait a minute, what am I really thinking about? You know? In fact, you get some forces that don't want you to think. But then that leader, that minister is milking you. Like you got some churches, I mean, I've heard stories like churches charging $1,000 for tithes. I'm like, yeah, okay. I won't be going to that one. You got some people not making $1,000 on a paycheck, but they're going to be prevented from you know, getting some spiritual salvation or cultivation, whatever term you want to use, because they don't have the money. Come on there. Think. So, I mean, really think about it. See, you can't control. If you, like I said, you get a critical mass of people who really think, you can't control them. You can't control them. They're going to look at you and be like, and it's no weapon on the planet that can force them, even at gunpoint. Just like, yeah, you can shoot me, but I'm still not going to change my mind on this. You know? So, I want y'all to think about that. You know, just many forces. You know, and that's one of the things. Like, even for the stuff I talk about, that's why I say, check it out on your own. Check it out on your own. That's why I like someone who like presents something that from, you know, if they present something that contradicts what I'm saying, all I do is be like, okay. As long as you present it in a way that shows you think about it. Sometimes I'll challenge it too. And it was like, look, if you're going to be on this, let me know something. I still got stuff to learn, because make me think. How about that? How about that? So, anyway, that's all I have for now. Think on this. Really think on this, okay? and I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.